Fractions. A fraction is a number which is represented by one integer, the numerator, divided by another integer, the denominator, or also called the divisor. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is an integer? What does an integer mean? An integer is any number, any whole number, only that it can be positive or a negative number. So examples of integers will be -3, -2, 1, 2, 7. By the way, all these numbers without signs are positive. So a positive number can be written with the positive sign or without the positive sign. So 0 is also a part of numbers. So we have positive integers and we have negative integers. Integers are all numbers. So a fraction is a number represented by one integer divided by another integer. The integer on top of the division line is known as the numerator. So this is an example. When you have an example will be 2/3. This is an example of a fraction. 2 being the numerator and 3 being the denominator or the divisor. The denominator or the divisor. Which means it is dividing the number on top. 2 is divided by 3. This is what this means. 2 is divided by 3. That is, 2 is divided by 3. Now, since fractions are written as one number divided by the other, they are also known as ratios. Fractions are also known as ratios or rational numbers. Fractions are also known as ratios or rational numbers. So I hope you get this. I hope you understand what this means. Now we have different types of fractions. There are different types of fractions. We have proper fractions. Proper fractions. We have what we call proper fractions. Types now. Types. We have proper fractions. We have improper fractions. And we have the mixed fractions. The mixed fractions. Proper, as the word implies, it is proper, it is normal, it is correct. I like to break down words in mathematics to simple words that we can relate with. Proper, it is normal. Examples of proper fraction will be 2/3, 5/7. In short, any fraction where the numerator is less than the denominator. When the numerator is less than the denominator, then it is a proper fraction. Do we understand? Like a mom is supposed to carry a baby, not a baby carrying the mommy. Do we understand? So it is proper for a baby to be carried by the mommy. So think of 2 as a baby, while 3 is a mommy. It's bigger. So proper fractions have the numerator smaller than the denominator. Improper fractions, as the name implies, it is improper, it is abnormal. So it will be that the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Examples will also be 7/2. This is improper. We can also have 19 over 3. Of course, this is improper. You can imagine a baby carrying his father. That is improper. So these are improper fractions. These are examples of improper fractions. So in a case where we want to normalize improper fractions, then we will have mixed fractions. If we want to normalize improper fractions to make them look better, then we will have mixed fractions. Mixed fractions are a combination of whole numbers and fractions. They are a combination of whole numbers and fractions. So for example, we'll have one whole number, 2 over 3. I said earlier that if we would normalize improper fractions, we will get mixed fractions. What I mean is, look at our example, one of our examples here, 7 over 2. If I would normalize this, of course, 7 is not supposed to be on top of 2. So I would divide 7 by 2. How many times will 2 go in 7? Or how many 2's can I find in 7? I will find 3 2's. 3. So 2 will go in 7 3 times with a remainder of 1. 1. So I write the remainder and then the divisor. 2 was the divisor. So divided by 2. This way I have normalized this improper fraction to get this mixed fraction. The second example there, 19 over 3. 19 over 3. Let's do that again. 19 divided by 3. How many times will 3 divide 9? Or how many 3's can we find in 19? 19. We can find 5 3's. 5. Or, 6. 6 3's in 19. So 3 will divide 19 6 times with a remainder of 1 over the divisor, which is 3. So if we were to convert this back, this mixed fraction, we will get this. And to do that, this multiplied by this added to this. So this times this plus this gives us the numerator 19 over 3. So that is that. Now, like I said earlier, fractions are made up of integers. Fractions are integers dividing another integer. One integer divided by another integer. So because integers can be positive or negatives, we can also have positive and negative fractions. The fraction can be positive or can be negative. So it means we can have a positive fraction, which will be minus. That's 2 over 3 or plus 6 over 7 or plus 9 over 2. These are positive fractions. We could also have negative fractions. So that would be having a negative sign. That would be negative fractions now. So I want us to understand the basics of fractions. Now, how do fractions come about? How are fractions created? We get fractions from wholes. fractions are a part of a whole number or a whole object or a whole thing. For example, if you have a whole, say, apple, or this is a whole circle, please don't mind my drawing, a part of it, say half of it, we divide it into two sides. We have two sides. One side is shaded, the other side is not shaded. This part that has been shaded is one of two sides. One of two sides. If we divide it further into four sides, then we have two parts shaded out of four sides. So we have, to represent these two parts, we'll have 2/4, because the circle is now divided into four sides. I can use another example. This time I will draw a quadrilateral shape, and I can divide it into as many sides as possible. Here I have 12 sides. 12. I have divided into 12 smaller quadrilaterals. So if I shade just one, this part shaded is just one of 12 parts. And so this part is represented as 1/12. I hope we understand. And if I shade two parts, or three, if I shade two more, this time around I have three parts shaded, 3 shaded out of 12, and so this will be represented as 3/12. So I hope it is easy for us to understand this, because as we progress into other calculations in fractions, we need to understand these basics of fractions. I'll be moving now to multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions. How are fractions multiplied? These are some, this is an area I find where students have challenges, and I would try to make this as simple as possible, because I want us to get it, to understand it, and I will be very happy if I can have your feedback on this topic. So multiplying fractions now. Multiplying fractions. By the way, you need to memorize your multiplication table, which is very easy. I would help you with that. If you have a challenge with multiplying with your multiplication tables, trying memorizing it, you can let me know in the comment section and I will help you with it. So multiplying fractions. Fractions are multiplied by multiplying the numerators and the denominators respectively. For example, let's take an example. If we have these two fractions, and if you were to multiply these two fractions together, so we have this, we multiply the numerators together and then the denominators together. We never multiply a numerator with the denominator. We don't do that. It's not a correct way of solving mathematics, and I find students do this a lot. Students are often confused when it comes to doing calculations involving fractions. You multiply only numerators together and denominators together, respectively. So if I were to multiply to solve this, then I can say 2 times 5 divided by 3 times 7. I cannot say 2 times 7. That is wrong. 2 times 7 over 3 times 5 is wrong. But this is correct. So please let us understand that. So 2 times 5 will give us 2 times 5 will give us 10. 3 times 7 will give us 21. And so the answer to this calculation will be 10 over 21. Another example, another quick example. If I have 5 divided by 9, 5 over 9 times 2 over 7. So that would be 5 over 9 times 2 over 7. And this would give me, like we did earlier, that would be 5 times 2 over 9 times 7. 5 times 2 is 10. And 9 times 6 is 63. And so the answer to this is 10 over 63. So I hope we understand this. And I would like to pause here for now, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about this class, and let me know in the comment section if there are topics you are having challenges with, and I'll be happy to treat them with you. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye.